It's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to the latest episode of the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. I hope all the mothers out there had a wonderful Mother's Day. Yesterday was Mother's Day. It was a pretty good day for Mother's Day. I made my mom a special video and I sent it to her on Facebook. And my mom had a nice Mother's Day dinner last night, Olive Garden to go. That's her favorite meal. So in today's episode, I got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about some things that happened to me this weekend. Also going to talk about the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to recap their season. Also recap the Lehigh Valley Phantoms and their playoff run, and also talk about the Reading Royals and their exit from the Kelly Cup playoffs. And also in this video, I have a movie review of a movie I saw on Netflix, and that movie is A Man Called Otto. We'll get into that in a few minutes, but first, let me talk about what happened to me this weekend. I was on YouTube. I was making a new watermark for my YouTube channel. Went to customize channel. I thought I clicked on the watermark option. It turns out I clicked on the channel art option, and I accidentally changed my channel art. And it wasn't something I didn't want to use for my channel art, so it took me about 3 or 4 hours to get the same background. I was able to fix it so I could get my original channel art that I was using, so I figured it out. But it took me a while to figure it out, and I got my channel art back to the way I wanted it to be. Also, I was having some problems with Instagram as well, but then I realized there was a simple solution to that Instagram problem. I wanted to change my display name, and usually when you go to edit profile, you can edit your display name right there. It took me a while to figure this out, but while I was trying to figure it out, I was getting frustrated, and I was cursing at Instagram. I was yelling at Instagram, and I was just so angry that I couldn't figure it out. So it turns out Instagram changed their settings around, and to change your display name, you have to go to Add Preferences, and where it says Profile, it says the display name, where your profile is at. And you can change it from there. So I figured it out, and I'm like, I can't believe that's all I had to do. It's crazy, isn't it? But I was able to get through it. I had a pretty good day yesterday. Pretty good Mother's Day for my mother. I'm glad she had a good one. Now, we move on to some Flyers. We're talking about the Flyers, the Phantoms, and the Royals. But first, let's get into the Royals. On Saturday, the Reading Royals were officially eliminated from the Kelly Cup playoffs. A 5-2 loss to the Newfoundland Growlers in Game 5. It was a Game 5 loss to the Newfoundland Growlers. They lose to the Growlers for the second year in a row. They lost to them last year in Game 7. This year it was a little more different for the Royals, losing three of the 3 home games that they had at home. They lost all 3 of those games. Were able to win Game 4 6-3. Game 5, I thought that they were going to come back and they were going to win that game. Unfortunately, that did not happen for the Reading Royals, and it was disappointing. But I'm really starting to mature as a hockey fan. I didn't let it break my heart. So I know this team was really tired. 3 games in Newfoundland. It was going to be tough for the Royals. It was going to be tough for them to win all 3 of those games. But they showed some fight in at least one of those games. I noticed every time the Royals got on the board first, it was always a false sense of security for Reading, as Newfoundland would always have a counterattack for every goal they would score. It was a tough loss, but you know, that's hockey sometimes. Sometimes you think something good's gonna happen. The next thing you know, the plans change. So I have to say, I was happy to experience playoff hockey. Yes, Reading Royals playoff hockey. It wasn't Flyers playoff hockey, but still, it was close. It was the closest thing because Reading Royals fans are very passionate fans, much like the Flyers fans. I was happy to see that. So let's go into the recap. Royals, they have probably a slow start to start the season. They started to turn things around. There's a few bumps on the road, as bumps go. There's a few bumps on the road, but the month of March was the month they really locked it down and really played well. They made it into the playoffs with a win over the Riviera Lions. Royals made the playoffs. They were in the playoffs. The first round opponent was the Maine Mariners. Royals win games 1 and 2. They lose games 1 and 2. Maine wins 2 games in that series. Ties the series up at 2-2. Royals win game 5. And then they win game 6. And they win game 6 decisively at Santander Arena. Eliminate the Maine Mariners. They go on to the second round. They face Newfoundland. And they lose in 5 games. So it was a tough go for the Royals, but a damn good experience for the city of Reading and many of the Reading Royals fans as well. So thank you, Reading, for a good experience. Great experience of playoff hockey. It was pretty awesome to see the Reading Royals in the playoffs again. It was really awesome. They just need to work on getting past that second round. That's been their Achilles heel. That's been their Achilles heel in playoffs lately. Not getting past the second round. As for the Phantoms, it was tough for them to make the playoffs, but they were able to make it into the playoffs. And unfortunately, they were eliminated quickly by the Charlotte Checkers. Phantoms won game 1, but then they lost game 2 in the second overtime. And then they come back in game 3. It's a best of 3 series. Unfortunately, the Phantoms lose that game. They get eliminated by the Charlotte Checkers. Tough loss for the Phantoms. They didn't even get to play a home game. And I have to say, AHL, ECHL, you guys need to get your playoff scheduling straight. Because that was best of 3. I'm just going to say it right now. That was a disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace. Best of 3. Come on. A best of 3. Come on, that's bullshit. That's BS. In my opinion, I think the Phantoms got screwed in the scheduling there. They got screwed. That's all I gotta say about that. Not only did the fans get screwed with the fans to go to the games at PPL Center, they got screwed as well. So So that was a tough loss for the fans. They had a pretty damn good season. Got a feel for Yuma Perrier, but other than that, great work of the fans. It sucks that they got knocked out in the they got knocked out right away. But what are you gonna do about that? Now moving on, we're gonna talk about the Philadelphia Flyers. We're gonna talk about the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers did not have a real good season. But there were some good aspects of the season, such as Travis Konechny. He had a pretty good year. Alan Tibbett had a good year. Carter Hart had a pretty good year. Sam Harrison played well. In my opinion, Felix Sandstrom did not play too well. As you all know, the Philadelphia Flyers had some personnel changes during this off-season. Unfortunately, they did not win the draft lottery. That sucks. Danny Briere was named general manager, and Keith Jones was named president of hockey operations. In my opinion, I think that's a pretty good deal for Keith Jones. I think he really cares about the fans. He cares about this team, and he cares about this team, and he wants this team to succeed. I think he is the right man for the job. There have been times I might disagree with some of the things he said on some broadcasts, but I have to say Keith Jones is the perfect man for president of hockey operations. Some people think it's a stupid job for him to get, but hear me out here. Keith Jones is a people person. He cares about people. He cares about the team. He cares about the players. So I think he's the right man for the job. That's how it's going to be. He's the right man for the job, in my opinion. And people were nervous about Danny Briere. I'm not too nervous about Briere. Briere actually got a degree in management, and it helped him. So he's going to be a pretty good general manager. I can't wait to see what he's going to do in this offseason. I can't wait to see what Keith Jones does as well. Well, enough about that, folks. I want to warn you guys, in the next part of this video, there's some subject matter that might be a little touchy for some people. It might be a little bit of a hot button issue. But when we come back, we're going to do a review. I'm going to talk about a new movie that Tom Hanks is in. And that movie is A Man Called Otto. When we come back, we're going to talk about this movie. And I gotta warn you, if you haven't seen this movie yet, do not watch the second part of this podcast. I'm Timmy Flyersguy, and we will be right back for more of the Timmy Flyersguy podcast in a moment. Hey everybody, Timmy Flyersguy here, reminding you to check out one of the best old school wrestling YouTube channels. And that channel is GotMark76. GotMark76 is a true wrestling fan, a true old school fan of wrestling. He's a big fan of WWE, NWA, old school WWF, old school ECW, and many old school wrestling organizations. GotMark76's YouTube channel is basically it's universe mode. He creates his own custom universe modes in WWE. A lot of old school universe modes. So make sure you check him out. That's Mark 76. Mark 76. One of the best wrestling YouTubers on YouTube, and one of my favorite wrestling YouTubers as well. So check him out. That's Mark 76 on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So subscribe to his channel today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with Timmy Flyersguy podcast, and just a line. This movie, A Man Called Otto. Movie disclaimer at the beginning of the movie. This movie deals with suicide. This movie deals with a man who tries to commit suicide. And the subject matter in this video may be if it's a little too much for you, and you can't handle the video, I suggest you click off of this video, because the movie I'm about to talk about deals with suicide and depression. So I'm gonna get into the review right now. On Saturday I saw a new movie starring Tom Hanks called A Man Called Otto. This is a great movie. I just watched it on Netflix, and this movie really made me feel. It really made me cry. It made me feel real. It made me cry. But there were parts in this movie that make you laugh as well. For those of you who don't know, A Man Called Otto is a remake of a Swedish film that came out in 2005 called A Man Called Ove. It's also based on the novel of the same name. A Man Called Otto is the story of a man named Otto Anderson, who is a depressed, angry old man who's tired of life and he's had enough. The reason he's like this, his wife died of cancer, and his wife was his whole world. He loved his wife, and when he lost her, he became angry. He became very resentful of life. And the movie stars Tom Hanks as Otto Anderson. Otto is an angry old man who attempts to commit suicide several times. 3 times to be exact. I'm not going to tell you what those things are, how he tries to kill himself, because I don't want to really get into how he does it. But he's surrounded by a lot of friendly neighbors. He has a neighbor who moves across the street from him, named Marisol Mendez, played by Mariana Trevino, a well-accomplished actor in Mexico. She plays Marisol Mendez, neighbor of Otto Anderson. Otto is quite annoyed by her at first, but in a way, even though he's very grumpy, he offers to help her in many ways. He even teaches her how to drive, and they really start to hit it off. He also meets a transgender person, a transgender male named Malcolm. Malcolm is a kid who got made fun of because he was transgender. His teacher was Otto's wife, and She really helped Malcolm when he was in trouble and needed some help. She didn't judge Malcolm for what he was. So, as we progress, Tom Hanks starts to. Tom Hanks, Otto, seems very angry and upset. Marisol brings up his wife, and Otto just absolutely loses his shit. He yells at Marisol. He yells at everyone. Tells them to leave him alone. He ends up almost having a heart attack. He walks into his house. Tries to commit suicide once again. Then he hears a knock at the door, and he's interrupted by Malcolm. So him and Malcolm really hit it off. Him and Malcolm really hit it off. And he helps Otto out. He cooks for Otto. He feeds his cat. Yes, there's a cat in the movie that follows Otto around. Otto is reluctant to take the cat in until the neighbors find out the cat has been frozen in ice. They take one of the neighbors takes care of the cat, but it turns out he's allergic. So Otto ends up taking this cat. So we get into the scene, and he tries to commit suicide. He's interrupted by Malcolm. A couple days later, and Marisol knocks it. And he goes out and he hears that a retirement home wants to revamp the neighborhood and turn it into a assisted living center. Otto was against this whole thing, so he goes to Marisol's house because he needs the phone. And it turns out that these developers are trying to scam his friends, Chris and Anita, his neighbors. But Tom Hanks is friends with the neighbor Chris. They had a bit of a falling out over a car or something. So the assisted living place is trying to scam Anita and Chris. So Otto has to make a phone call to try to help stop these developers from turning his neighborhood into an assisted living center. So he contacts a social media personality that records videos of people being scammed, and he tries to help those people that have been scammed. Previously, in the movie, Otto saved somebody from getting hit by a train. He becomes a local hero, and the lady wants to interview him. He locks her in the garage because he doesn't want to talk to her. Well, we fast forward to this scene. So he knocks on Marisol's door. Asks Marisol if he can use her phone. She reluctantly says no because she was upset. Otto scared her. He yelled at her. And let me tell you, she really ripped into Otto in this scene. Telling him, you think you're the only one that's been hurt? You think you're the only one? So, this really starts to hit Otto hard. And he overthinks it. He apologizes for the way he's been acting. And he tells Marisol that he needs to use the phone so he can save the neighborhood. Marisol lets him use the phone. They make up. They become friends again. He calls social media manager, social media consultant, or whatever you call it, social media personality, and she helps him out. She's on Instagram Live. She recorded this whole thing as this assisted living place tries to scam this community. So, with the help of Otto and the whole neighborhood, the neighborhood is saved. But Otto has a heart attack, collapses, wakes up in the hospital. It turns out he has something that has to do with his heart, something he had when he was very young. So, he has a heart attack, wakes up in the hospital. We fast forward a couple years later. And the movie's going good. He's getting along with the kids, taking them for rides in his new car, visiting his grave, and taking his newfound friends to the grave to visit his wife who passed away. Sooner or later at the end of the movie, we get to the end of the movie. Marisol, the neighbors notice that Otto has not shoveled his walkway. Marisol starts to suspect something happened. She walks into the house. She sees Otto on the bed. And Otto was dead. Otto died. He didn't commit suicide. He died because his heart gave out. But he died doing something meaningful, helping people that he cared about. I really like this movie. The movie made me cry at the end. You hear that Kate Bush song? You just start to lose it emotionally. And when you hear that other song, you lose it too, emotionally. I really like this movie. It really makes you feel. It really makes you feel. And that's exactly what this movie did. It made me feel. And this movie teaches you that no matter how hard life gets, you just gotta keep on living. No matter how hard life gets. A lot of things happened to me. And yes, I was angry at the world. But a voice inside my head told me to keep living. It's exactly what you gotta do. No matter how hard life gets, you gotta keep living. You gotta keep living. Because there's people in this world that care about you. And this movie teaches us a lot about life. A lot about how it can change in a blink of an eye. You see, life can kick your ass. It can beat you down to the ground. But it's up to you to be the one that fights back. This movie, I have to say, is one of the greatest movies Tom Hanks has done since Forrest Gump. And this movie is on that level of being a great movie. I really think this is the movie that revamps Tom Hanks' career. I have to say Tom Hanks was absolutely amazing in this video. Mariana Kavima was excellent. And all around, I enjoy this movie. I recommend watching this movie. It teaches us the lesson that life is too short. Life is too short. And we just gotta keep living, no matter how hard life gets. Yes, this movie does have a lot of flashbacks. And the flashbacks really hit you hard. During this movie, and then we get to the middle of the movie, that's when it starts to really hit you. It starts to really hit you right there. And I recommend seeing this movie, A Man Called Otto. I recommend seeing this movie, A Man Called Otto. Now, if you or somebody you love is going through something, if they have any suicidal thoughts or feel depressed or anything, make sure you call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 989. Suicide is a really serious subject all over the world. And if you have somebody in your life that's suffering, somebody that's thinking about ending their lives, help them. Reach out to them. Try to help them. Be there for them. If you suspect that any of your friends are going through something, or if somebody's going through something, call the National Suicide Hotline at 989. Please do that. If you ever need somebody to talk to, if you're ever going through something, call that number. The number is 989. I will leave a link. I'll leave the phone number in the description of this video. Guys, thank you for joining me here on this episode of the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. And if you haven't seen A Man Called Otto, I suggest you see this movie. Because it teaches us a valuable lesson. So make sure you go see this movie, A Man Called Otto, starring Tom Hanks, Marianne Trevino, and also Mike Birbiglia. So make sure you check it out. A Man Called Otto. It's on Netflix right now. You can watch it if you have Netflix, so make sure you check it out. It's also on YouTube. You can also get the movie on YouTube. You can buy it or rent it on YouTube as well. So check out this movie. Now, I'm not going to do an outro to this video. Because the outro theme music does not go with the theme. Doesn't go with this. But I'm gonna end this episode with no outro. So I hope you guys are doing well. Remember, no matter how hard things get in life, you gotta keep living. You just gotta keep living. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a great day. And if you have loved ones in your life, hug them. Tell them you love them. And tell them that you will always be there for them. Thank you and have a great day, everyone. Thank you.